evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm flying solo today. Jeff couldn't be with us. He had some family stuff come up. Whoa, whoa. Sorry about that. So I am flying solo. Um, so I will keep you all well entertained throughout the day. Good evening, Adam. How you doing, buddy? We got a lot of cars to go over, a lot of projects going on. We also got some challenges. We're kicking off December right. And I spent a lot of time this week getting cars ready. Everything I want to work on in December is all prepped and sitting on my desk. So this way I have plenty of stuff to keep us busy. And Adam, you and I are doing our DeLorean builds. So I'm actually going to start working on mine. I'm going to get it stripped tonight and start preparing for my DeLorean build. I'm still kind of struggling on what I want to do with that car. It's just kind of a cool car by itself. Um, and so I'm kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? Because I don't want to take away from the body too much. So, but when I start breaking them all down, I will. I'll kind of show you some ideas that I have for that particular build. Outside of that, not much is going on. I learned some new things this week on dealing with die-cast cars, and I'm kind of excited about them. And I found a new hotspot for some cars. So if you're looking for any of the older cars, like the early 2000s and some of the 1990s cars, I found a spot that's selling some. I actually found them while Christmas shopping. So I'll talk about those in a little bit. So yeah, not much to ramble about. Just kind of finishing off the Thanksgiving week. It was a great week. I had a great Thanksgiving with my family. Good evening, David. Had a great time with the family. So now we look forward to Christmas and then a New Year's, and then we get to hopefully start everything over in a more positive note moving forward. So let me switch cameras real fast and kind of just jump right into this. Show you guys some cool stuff, and then we'll start working on some cars. So let me pop over to my other camera. As you can see some stuff on my desk already. I'm still having a lot of fun stripping cars and putting them back in the package. I got 4 more done. All these cars are bouncing all over my desk. I got another Big Air Bel Air done. And yeah, I just have fun. I did 3 more Erikensteins. And again, for me, I think what I'll probably end up doing with a lot of these is these will end up as giveaways. When we demo Gaslands at the shop, I've always given away Hot Wheels, just regular end up blister ones, and I'll probably still do that. But I'm thinking about maybe having a few of these on hand as well. And if somebody does something really cool during the game or something like that, maybe let them take one of these. But the reason I do that, the reason I like to give these away during demo days, is that way people have something to take home with them and start working on it. Well, with these already being stripped, drilled, tapped, and everything like this is the perfect car for beginners to get started working on them. So that's kind of a nice little benefit. And it's something to, I don't know, help build the community. David, you found Purple Power finally. That's awesome. Took you a long time. They were sold out everywhere. Probably because of COVID-19. It's a pretty good detergent, so I'm sure a lot of people were using it for that. But it's good that you found some. It's great stuff. It strips chrome off beautifully. What I'd recommend you do is just get yourself a little mason jar with a lid. Just put your parts in there and just let them soak for like 24 hours or something like that. Is gasoline? Yes, gasolines is that popular in Phoenix. They're sold out of Purple Power everywhere. But no, just get yourself a little mason jar, pop your parts in there, let them soak for 24 hours. The good thing is it's just a detergent, so it's not going to cause any harm. It's not like a paint strip or anything like that. So I think you'll be good. So while I was out Christmas shopping with my wife, we went to the outlet mall, Tanger Outlet Mall, the one off of the 101 and what is that, Glendale, over there by Cabela's and all that. Every year over there, a little shop pops up. It's a little pop up store. They take a empty suite and they set up it's sports cards and collectibles is what the name of the little business is. And we went in there. We always look in there because they sell a lot of pop culture stuff, Funko Pops and doohickeys and whatnot. Just stuff you would see at like Comic Con. Well, walking around in there, I found a bunch of Hot Wheels, and these are older Hot Wheels, and he was only selling them for $1.99 a piece. So price wise, not bad at all. Especially for some of these are from the 90s and early 2000s. So I'm gonna kind of run you guys through some of the ones I bought because I thought they were just perfect for Gaslands. And this crazy thing, this like it's an HW Hot Wheels Video Games Hero 11. So it's just kind of a unique looking Jeep. Let me zoom down so you guys can get a real good look at it. It's just very unique looking. It's got the big blower on the engine, lifted wheels, just kind of a unique Jeep. Kind of squared off. Again, strip all this stuff down, repaint it, Gaslands it up a little bit. It's got a great little rack on the top for mounting weapons too, or something like that. So, good little car. Quite happy with it. And then I found a bunch of muscle cars. This is a 3-window 34. Again, this is like your ZZ Top kind of vehicle. Kind of like the car I just recently finished. That little Ford Coupe thing. It's just a cool little car. Again, like the pinstriping on it. So this might be one of those cars that I rebuild, but I'll keep the original paint so I can maintain that pinstriping and just make it look cool. This car I really like. This is the Demon, and this is just like a chopped, exposed engine kind of a car. Just has a really cool look to it. Flames are awesome. We all know flames in Gaslands are awesome. So this was just a neat car that I was just like, all right, I'll get that. I like that car. And then I found this one. This is a 38 Phantom Corsair. When I saw this car, it's hard to show it because it's black and there's a good picture. It's just kind of a cool. I'm thinking more, I don't know, pulpish, kind of a pulp car, but it just looks cool. Again, sometimes I just buy these and I'll just put them in my collection along with all my other ones. But I just like this car. It just looked neat. Then I found a 33 Ford Roadster, but this is a convertible, which was awesome. And it had the full-length hood on it. Just a neat looking car. Again, these were only $2 a piece. Hey Tim, how you doing, buddy? These are only $2 a piece, so price-wise, not bad. And they were actually, since it was the day after Thanksgiving, it was Black Friday, they were giving me 10% off. So basically, the 10% off covered taxes. So not bad, but this is a really neat car. Great graphics on it. Still, when I rebuild this one, if I do, this will be one of those I keep the original paint job and just get back into just chopping it up and doing cool stuff with it. Then I found a 56 Ford truck. What really attracted me to this is it's got a tilt front end on it. You can see it's cut right here. When I saw this at the store, first thing I thought was tipping the front end forward and making it like a ram that I can just lift up, and then I'll have a ram, and then when I'm not having the ram, I can lower it back down. So I'm thinking I'll probably chop off the top of the engine, and I'll just make that, use that as a ram that just lifts up, smash into someone, lifts it back down. I don't know. Just thought it was a cool concept, so I figured I'd give it a shot. One of the things about Gaslands is just experimenting with different things. So I got one of those. Then I got your typical 57 Chevy. You can't go wrong with the 57 Chevy. Just a neat car, got a great engine in it, and that's actually a metal engine. It's not even plastic. And that's the thing about some of these older cars. You'll have a metal top, metal bottom. Sometimes they were plastic, but this one has a metal engine in it, plastic bottom, metal body. It's just a nice looking car. It's a 57 Chevy. How can you go wrong with that? Then I found Toe Jam. This is, first of all, just saying the name Toe Jam just seemed like something fun to do. Nice little, this is kind of like a custom tow truck. And I was kind of interested in this car more for just the bottom. I don't really care too much for the car itself, the body. But I was just thinking this might make a cool conversion for like a pickup truck or something like that. And I'll just have 8 wheels in the back. So I'll take the body off, find a frame that will fit it, like a truck body to fit it, or Volkswagen bus or something. I'll find something cool that will fit over it, and I'll just make it an 8 wheeled vehicle. I'll put 8 wheels in the back, 2 up front, and just make it a neat looking car. Like I said, the body, even the body's kind of nice, but I'd rather have something a little bit more chopped up. And I was 8 wheels in the back on a vehicle thing. I think that'll just be awesome. So this will be a fun project. And the last one I want to show you is Way Too Fast. Now this car screams Gaslands. We've got the dual engines up front. We've got kind of an old Model T type body or a Roadster style body in the back here. Uh, it's just awesome. And I already had a couple of these cars. So when I saw a few in the package, I was like, well, first of all, I don't mind having a couple cars in the package just to add to my collection. But the ones I had some damage. They didn't have the hood scoops on or the intakes up top there. They got chopped off at some point. But again, this car just really screams Gaslands. And I figured, okay, that's going to be my next project. So when I got home, I went digging through my collection and I pulled one of the cars out that I had already and got it all stripped down and ready to go. Now you're going to notice this car's real shiny. And the reason for that is when you start dealing with these older cars, you can even see it on this one. You see how dull that all looks? That's oxidation. And that's what will happen with these steel bodies, or this it's just a plated steel on the bottom of them. I believe they plate these in zinc, and as time goes on, the zinc starts to get dull and starts to you can actually find like they'll start building up like a residue on them if you don't keep it cleaned. So what I ended up doing with this car, after doing plenty of research on them, on what to do, is I submerged them in CLR. And CLR is a cleaner. It's like for cleaning lime and stuff away. And most people are using an actual lime away type product. I don't have any of that around. The only thing I had for cleaning like toilets and stuff like that was CLR. So I actually soaked these in CLR. And then once they were done being soaked, I took a brass wire wheel and I just cleaned them all up, because when they come out of the CLR, they look like this. It's basically etching the metal a little bit. And I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe it's eating off some of the zinc that the cars are plated in. And it's just leaving more of a raw metal. And then I hit it with the wire wheel. If I really wanted to, and I haven't decided yet, I might wet sand the body down to get rid of all the nicks, and you can see some of them on the side there, some nicks and stuff like that. I'm thinking about wet sanding it all down and hitting it with a polishing wheel and just leave it silver. Hello, Steve. How you doing, buddy? But just leave it a very bright, almost like chrome, kind of like just raw metal. I just thought maybe that would look kind of cool for a car, to kind of see how that would turn out. And then again, I've got the dual engines on this. Obviously, I'm going to put the big wheels on the back, probably some smaller ones in the front. Most likely, I'm going to use the wheels from Dice Mechanics games, some of those 3D printed wheels, because they really turned out nice on that coupe that I recently did. Speaking of, there are photos of that coupe on the Discord channel, but just in case you didn't see them, this is how that 32 coupe turned out. So that's my guy in the back holding a shotgun. Got the guns on the windows. Hey, Jonathan. Got the guns on the windows, and then I got those exhausts up front there. So that's how that 32 coupe turned out. And again, this was that Turbo Dork paint, which I am just becoming a fan of. That stuff looks really nice. So I'm probably going to do the same thing with this. Put the wheels on it from the Dice Mechanics games, and then figure out what I want to do for weapons. I have lots of options for where I can put the weapons on this car. Love that green. Greenskins approves of green. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to chrome this one out. I'm just going to polish up all this metal by wet sanding it, hit it to a buffing wheel on my grinder, and just make it chrome. Paint's good even. Yes, it does. I hit this was actually hit with my airbrush. That's what I hit that with. So it made it good. So yeah, this is going to be my next build. One of many. I actually got everything lined up for December on my desk, and we're going to go over this one at a time. So we know we're going to do this. I'm going to do this Duster. This is just a cool little car. I'm going to steal an idea from Jeff. I'm going to put a guy up front here with a gun shooting out, and then I'm going to cut up the back and put an engine in the back of this. I thought that would look really cool for this Duster, and then obviously put some better wheels on it and mount some other doohickeys on it. I like doohickeys on my cars. The real reason I bought this Duster originally was for this motor, because it's a metal motor inside here, and I was thinking I was going to use it for another project, but which I still might. But with this being open like that, I was like, that'd be a perfect place to put somebody shooting a gun. Started my sanguineous build with Jeff tomorrow. Yes, and Jeff is looking forward to working on his sanguineous with you. I think that's going to be exciting. This is another car I recently picked up. I forget the name of this one. Muscle Bound. This car, I've shown this before on the show. It's just a neat car. So far, the only thing I've done is I've stripped all the paint. I removed the Hot Wheels logo just using some acetone. I want to keep the original paint job. I really like this paint job. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a ridiculous motor. I've got a few in mind where the blower's sticking way out. I'm going to just do some custom work to it, and I'm probably just going to take this thing here, whatever this is supposed to be on this car, and just mount some weapons onto that. Keep it simple, but keeping the original paint, because I just love it. It's just a cool... And first, it's got an M on it for Mike, so it's already got my initial on it. And just thought it'd be fun. So that's going to be a neat car. Then I have this truck. This is the truck from their the cartoon series, Fast and the Furious. Gonna work on more Blood Bowl when I get home tonight. Awesome. And speaking of Blood Bowl and everybody that's watching, we went ahead and started a sports gaming section on the Discord channel. So this way, if you got any, because I know there's other sports games out there. I know it's probably gonna be dominated with Blood Bowl. But there are some other sports games out there. So we figured we just go ahead with the new release of Blood Bowl. We would just have a channel dedicated for sports games. So post your stuff. I got to wait till Christmas to get mine. So anyways, this is another car. This is, again, really already screams Gaslands with all the features on it. You got these exhaust pipes coming out here. You got some roof racking material and all this cool stuff on it. Believe it or not, this piece actually pulls out, which is weird, but it does. I was saying I could just leave it pulled out and mount guns right to the front. I don't know yet. Um, so yeah, this is just another one of those cars. This should be a quick, easy build. This also has, just like the Big Air Bel Air, has some ports already in the metal, which would make a good spot for mounting some guns right out of. We'll see. Haven't really decided exactly which direction I'll go, but the wheels are good. This already has the big knobby wheels on it. So this is just a matter of getting some paint down, getting some weapons mounted on it, and I'm good to go. Then I have this old truck. I don't even know what year this truck is. What do they got listed as? It's a 35 Ford. This is a Matchbox, so a little bit different than the Hot Wheels. Still the same company. It's this Matchbox. Looks nice. I love it. I love the grill. That grill is awesome right here. So this is just going to be a fun car to build. I'm thinking about doing a mounted machine gun with a person in the back controlling the machine gun. We already have what could be an ammo compartment or a gas tank, whichever. But we already have something. So I'm thinking about just mounting, kind of like just on a rod, a 50 cal machine gun, and just have a guy in the back shooting it. Give it 360, so it'll be a turret mounted weapon, and it'll just look neat with this truck. And then we'll rust it all up and we'll make it all look grungy and gross like we like to do. And then I'm finally going to get around to this mod rod. I've been stalling and stalling because I just haven't found the right inspiration for this car yet. And I finally figured out what I'm going to do with it. And I'm kind of excited about it. And the build on this is actually tied into December's challenge. So when I get to that, I will continue that conversation. Speaking of December challenges, Adam and I are going head to head in December with a DeLorean build. And this is my DeLorean. This is the already hovering one. So I'm gonna leave it like it is. I haven't quite decided everything I wanted to do with this yet. My main goal for this build is not to take it too far away from looking like a DeLorean. So I want to kind of keep a lot of that Hollywood look to it. But I do want to add some kind of weaponry to it. And when I was digging around looking for something else in my bits boxes, I found these engines from a game called Call to Arms. It was a Star Trek tabletop game, and they had miniatures you used to put together, all metal, and they went together like crap because you had this little glue joint right here, and you're trying to glue this metal arm onto the side of a vehicle. This is an engine for a Klingon ship. And I was kind of thinking these might look good coming off the back, like right along the window here, as weapons. Gonna be kind of hard for me to hold in place and show you guys all at the same time, but something like that. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Haven't decided 100% yet. It wouldn't take it too far away from being the DeLorean, and it would still add a nice little feature to it that gives me some weapons. So that's one of the ideas I'm toying around with. The other idea I'm giving away all my secrets to Adam, so he's got the upper hand on me on this build because he's got the 3D printer. The other thing I'm thinking about is cutting the hood out completely and then just raising it slightly and then filling in with plastic card and mounting some missiles coming out of the hood. So that's the other build option I have toying around in my head right now, which both of them seem plausible and feasible. So that's kind of where I'm looking at going. So tonight what I'm going to do is just unscrew this and throw it into the citrus strip to get the paint off. What is this? What kind of screws are you using to screw your cars back together again after you drill them out? The screws that I'm using are just regular from Copper State, 440. This I got 1/4 inch screws, and I've got 3/16 inch screws. Good evening, Eric. Thank you for joining us, sir. And I also have 3/16 screws. So if you go over to any of your hardware stores, you should be able to find a tap. I'm using the one I bought was from Lowe's or Home Depot. It came with a drill bit and the tap. I just had to buy a handle separate, and it's just the 440. And then I just tap them out when I'm done. It is a lot of work. I have messed a few cars up messing around doing this, but it does work. And that's it. I just get them from Copper State. I think you get a box of 100 for like $6. So I just have the two different size because, as you know, when you take these apart, sometimes your post, you got plenty of post material to work with. Other times you got short posts and you don't have a lot of material to work with. So that's why I have the different sizes. They were out of 1/8 inch screws. Those are the ones I want to find next. I'll probably just go back in a little while and see if they got them. That way I can even go shorter if I have to. But yeah, that's how I'm putting them back together. And what I'll probably end, if you don't know how to tap and die stuff out, David, let me know. I can kind of walk you through it. I, luckily enough, have a drill press and everything I need to make that happen. So anyway, so DeLorean build challenge for December. We'll get to work on that. The other challenge, and this one's open to everybody. I posted it up on our Discord channel if you're wanting to check it out, is we are combining these two cars. So what the challenge is for this is we're going to cut the back half off an Erikenstein. And we're going to cut the front end off of a bone shaker. And we're going to make one car out of those two pieces. However you want to stack them. But that's what we're going for. This picture that I posted on the Discord channel was something that was floating around on one of the Gasland sites that I look at. And I just thought it looked really cool. And if you go on the Discord, Tim's already started working on his. And he's kind of got it mocked together so you can get a good idea of what it's going to look like. He's using a different bone shaker, though. He's got the one with the extra window in the back, so his is a little bit longer. But this is going to work just fine. So, and then when I was talking about this mod rod, what I want to do for this mod rod, the one thing that turns me off about this car is this back stowage compartment. It looks like a trunk. It's got leather straps. So what I'm thinking is I want to take the back of this bone shaker, cut that out, and replace this and put it right there. So I want to make this look a little bit more like a truck. And then I'll have a place to maybe mount some weapons to better or do something. But this is just a big turnoff for me. And I've been toying around with this, what to do with this for a while. Then when this challenge came up, that's what I came up with. So when I'm cutting this off tonight, I want to be very careful because I want to be able to put it back on to this. I don't know. Adobe wanted to update right in the middle of my stream. So anyways, so that's how this is all going to tie in together. So let me zoom back out. And we're going to get to work. And we'll go ahead and start with the DeLorean real fast. I just want to get that stripped. And so you guys know I use Citrus Strip as my stripper. Been using it a lot lately because I've got all these cars done. And we'll just pull this apart real fast. Voila. And then dunk, in it goes. I might need to add some more. I don't know yet. Yeah, we'll give it a splash. And again, this is the stuff we use. David, I think you posted a picture of it online asking if that was the right stuff, and you were correct. That is the right stuff. And I never change out my Citrus Strip. All I'll do is, when I pull cars out, if it's looking a little grungy like it has been lately, I'll just pull out extra Like I'll just pull the car straight out, and I'll just kind of get rid of a bunch that way, and then just put in new stuff. But you can see all my paint that's just sitting in there. It's art. It's modern art. So anyways, I'll just throw that in the stripper and just let it sit. This interior though has a lot of great detail. Look at that. Eric, I happen to have both the Bone Shaker and the Eric. Interesting combination. You're going to see us work on that a little bit tonight. I use the same stripper. It works beautiful. And I'll just leave it in there overnight, and then tomorrow night I'll just take it out and we'll be good to go. It's not that bad, Jonathan. Anyway, so this is the, and it's just got a lot of great detail. And this is one of the reasons why I don't want to get too carried away with putting armor plates on and doing crazy stuff on that DeLorean. I want to show off all this interior detail. I might just leave the window out just so you can see the interior detail on this car, because I'll paint all this stuff up and I think it's just going to look great. And Adam, I am sure you have plenty of plans in mind for yours, and I can't wait to see them. So we're going to get to cutting. I like to cut stuff. Ooh, camera's shifting around. David, when you do buy, if you do buy screws, I get the steel ones, by the way. These are steel. And part of the reason I do that is I'm working on a storage solution for my cars. And what I want to be able to do is just take rare earth magnets and stick them to it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is just mount rare earth magnets to a board for each car. Obviously, every car is going to be a little different based on the car that you have. That way I can just pop it onto a rare earth magnet and it won't move around. Something I've been toying around with. Well, we all know you like to cut stuff. I will leave my other fingers alone. Don't need to be cutting my fingers off anymore. Again, the Erikenstein has a great interior as well. You got some, looks like turbo tanks and a big old fan back there. Just neat stuff. It's a great looking car. That's why I stripped down so many of them and put them back in the packaging, because I want to be able to give those away, because for someone just getting into the hobby, this is a great car to get started with. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up just cutting right along the back. If I had a little pointy thing, we're just going to cut right along here and just do a nice smooth cut. And all we got to do is, it looks like that seam, there's also a raised edge, so the cutting's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll make it happen. And again, this is this first time I used this saw. This is the one I bought at the antique show. Why this was at an antique shop, I don't know, or the antique show, but it was, and I bought it. And this is my new jeweler saw. And the thing that's cool about jeweler saws is these blades are pretty flexible. So when I go in here, I can bend it around. There's a little bit of a difference between the top right here and the bottom. So I can kind of put a little pressure on the saw blade and move it over. I want to get my surface thing out. All right, so this should work just fine. So you just got to go slow, get your groove started. And once you get your groove started, then you can get a little bit more aggressive. And then you can just cut that off. Let the saw do the work. You don't have to force it. The blades will cut on their own. And just take your time and go slow. Your camera seems out of focus. Huh. How's that, Tim? Could just be your eyesight. Again, these jeweler blades work great. So we got a good line going. And it doesn't hurt to stop and check, make sure you're going in the right way. Just like anything, the hardest thing is just getting a good stable surface to do your work on. When you're dealing with these cars and you got all these things protruding all over the place, it can make it kind of hard sometimes. So we'll keep going at it. Now that I got that groove going, I can get a little bit faster with the saw blade. Hopefully I don't break the blade. But if I do, I have hundreds of more because you can buy these things pretty cheaply. I think I got mine from Amazon. And it's just a slow process. So, you got more patience than I am. Yes, I am a little bit more patient. I agree. I could have done it with the Dremel, and it would have been off by now. But Dremels make terrible streaming devices. They make so much noise, and you get all that dust all over the place. But this gives me a better cut, and it's a little bit thinner. So I'll use them. So I am a little bit more patient. Usually when I'm doing demonstrations like this, everything goes south. We call them Mike's disastrous demos. Usually something breaks, something doesn't work right. It's funny how we do all this stuff off camera, just kind of at our desks, and we never have a problem. But as soon as we try to do something live on stream, everything goes south. It's just the nature of streaming, I guess. And it's shifting all over the place. So it looks like we're getting most of it. It's just what I'm going to end up with, and I don't know if you can see this. There's all this raised material right here. And that is exactly where my line is going. Is right along that. So it's going to take a little bit longer to cut through it all. But we will get there. And then we'll start mocking it up and getting everything going on it. I think tonight's show is going to be primarily me just hacksawing away at cars. So it may not be the most stimulating show. But this is the process, and I think it's kind of a cool thing for everyone to kind of see is how much work goes into creating a Gaslands car. It's just not, it's not as simple as just gluing on some weapons sometimes. Yeah, Jeff had some family stuff going on tonight, Jonathan. So with holidays and everything like that, he said we'll be good to go for Wednesday. So and you guys got your Sanguinius builds coming up on Wednesday. Well, it's tomorrow, but we'll be streaming them on Wednesday. Oopsie. Yes, soak that Forge World stuff over. Just get it good and clean, because you don't want to put that together and have it start falling apart on you. All right, so we're through the 2 part, which is what we're going to save, and that was the main thing. Now we're just kind of cutting into that support. So what I'll probably end up doing is chopping some of that out with just snips to save a little bit of time. This is where I wish I had a vise on my desk, because I could have just viced this thing up and went to town. My blade's getting a little hot, so it's expanding. My little blue vise is the one I've got on my drill press. Yeah, I could go out and grab that real fast. It's just out on my drill press. Maybe it's time to buy one just for my desk. Good thing about certain tools you get from Harbor Freight, like on a vise or something like that, you don't need to spend a fortune on a name brand vise. You can get one from Harbor Freight and it'll be just fine. This was from Harbor Freight, and this is, if you don't know what this is, I was a gunsmith for a while, and when you drive out pins on guns, this is what you use, is you set the frame or whatever you're driving the pin out over one of these holes, depending on the size of the pin, obviously, and you tap out, and then that way the pin drops through. That's what these are designed for. I have one on my Christmas list. I am excited you're gonna get a drill. You're getting a drill press for Christmas, but you'd have had to have been a good boy this year to get a drill press. And since you're building Sanguinius, I think you're on the naughty list. I buy my jack stands from Harbor Freight. Yeah, jack stands. There's certain things you know. I want name brand tools for certain things. Obviously, a good name brand wrench or screwdriver, especially if you can get Craftsman with a lifetime warranty. That's always a bonus. But it's not necessary. I'm getting really close to my fingers, so we'll see if I draw blood tonight. to switch this around. I'm wondering if that's, oh, so much better. What's happening is I'm putting pressure on this and I'm cutting into my hand. And it's not comfortable. Where in the valley is there a Harbor Freight? David, if you're on my side of town, there's just one up Bell Road. What is that? It's over by, it's just the Old Town Square area. Bell Road, east of in between Dysart and El Mirage Road on the south side. There's a Harbor Freight over there. There's also one further up Bell Road. I want to say 63rd, 59th Avenue, something like that. There's also one at 35th Avenue and Bethany Home Road. They're all over the place. So, great place to buy tools for hobbying. All kinds of clamps and drill bits and just weird things that you never knew you needed until you go walking over and you're like, oh, I can use that for this. I get all my files, my let me show you guys. Again, part of the show is just sharing some of the stuff that we use. I get these from there, and the reason you don't need to spend a fortune on really expensive files, because as soon as you start filing down metal and stuff, these things are gonna be garbage in a little while. So why spend a fortune on them? You can't sharpen a file, not those anyways. I was spoiled when I was in the Air Force. We had a Snap-on, yes, Snap-on, Mac tools, really expensive stuff. Things we never knew until we met Mike. Yes. But if you're gonna get into, if you're like me and you're gonna build a bunch of cars, you're gonna end up using a lot of tools. And plus, I'm a fidgeter or tinkerer or whatever you want to call it. I'm always messing around with stuff, and I like having a lot of just random tools. You never know what you're gonna need when you break something in the house. All right, so you can see we're getting through the metal there. Diecast cars, yes. I got someone today on Twitter or Facebook or something. It's like they saw my picture of the new the coupe, and now they're like, I think I might get into Gaslands now thanks to your pictures, because they've been following me and seeing all the stuff I've been building. And again, that coupe's going to IOG. That's going to be one of the cars for the shop, so that people can play, for demos and stuff like that. Speaking of shops, that new shop opened up in the City of Surprise, that new game store. Don't know, I don't know everything they're going to do yet. They're still in the soft opening phase, but they'll be right down the street from my house. And what I'm hoping is maybe they'll get some good RPG groups in there, and I can start playing RPGs again. It's been kind of challenging living out in Surprise. Aha, we got all the way through. Now comes the fun part, getting my blade back out. Most RPG groups meet kind of late, and I know at IOG they have a lot of great RPG groups, but I don't want to be at the shop late and then driving all the way home. So I'm hoping this store gets a good little following for RPGs, and fully equipped. Oh, you and me both, David. I love working on wood projects. That would be awesome to have a fully equipped, a Bob Vila wood shop. Would be awesome. All right, so we got the first half out. I think my cut came out pretty good, so we know the other one's going to come out like crap. That's just how it works. First one's always good. Second one, not so much. If you guys, I think I posted it on Discord. IOG now has all the pro acrylic paints, which I'm excited about. First of all, I really like Jason, who is the local vendor for Monument and is the distributor for their paints. He's actually got Pro Acryl. It's at IOG, Funkatronic Rex, Game U, Tabletop. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just the 4 stores. I sent Jason a message today, told him about the shop-in surprise. Again, I really like Pro Acryl paint. All paint should be in some form of a dropper bottle. Hint, hint, GW. So, anyways. But now IOG has that. Plus, IOG has it's added to the Turbo Dork line. I actually picked up Red Rum. Red Rum. Because I wanna just paint a car metallic red. I just thought that would be fun. Mainly because Don did his Dragon Void and he used red as the base before he sprayed like a copper over it, and it turned out really nice. I think I killed this blade. I think it's just dull. So we're going to change out the blade. Again, these blades are inexpensive, so if you break them or ruin them, it's not the end of the world. You just throw them away. Or you can save them for your cars, but they're very brittle. So, and this is the pack I picked up on Harbor Freight, or I picked up on Amazon. It's got all the different blades in there. Obviously, they're different teeth thickness or number of teeth per blade. So, important thing is when you're putting a blade back on, is you got to find the teethy end and make sure that is pointing down. Otherwise, you're just not going to get a whole lot accomplished. All right. Little quick tightening. Yes, I'm using needle nose pliers to tighten this up because I want it good and tight so it doesn't move on me. Oops. Throwing stuff all over the place. All right, so we're going to get this one finished. Nice fresh blade. The glamour of cutting cars apart. Since these are just like pot metal, they kind of cut easily, but you still got to grind through all that metal. Again, one of the advantages of using a jeweler saw is it's just a thin blade. So I could have pulled out a hacksaw, but hacksaw blades are thicker. Not much, but a little bit. So this just gives me a clean cut. Programmer bit pusher during the week. Carpet obvious on the weekend. Yes. I kind of wish I could do more woodworking in the garage, but then I'd have to find another place to put all my Hot Wheels, and that could be a problem. Oh, this is cutting beautifully. Making quite the small metal charred bits in my room. So again, I'm at the point up here where I'm going through that support. So what I'm going to end up doing is getting the blade going again. Oops. And then just angling as I'm cutting. Oops, it's actually getting to the point now. This is the disastrous demos part. I can probably just break this off. Stop cutting, Mike. Just go brute force and destroy stuff. Need to dig. I so wish I had a basement. Then I'd have a small gun range in my basement, though, shooting like silenced 22s or something. All right, so 2 cars apart. And that's on the body, so just like that. So now what we got to do is cut the other car apart. Sorry, had to drink a little water. Now, the cool thing about bone shakers is there's a couple different styles on the market. You have the style, like I said, that Tim was using that's a little bit longer, has like another window back here, and the whole top is open. That is one of the other styles that you'll see. There's also a bone shaker that has like a dude sitting in it. It's same kind of a body style, but it's a little different casting. Obviously, no interior because there's a big person in it. It's kind of cartoonish, but you take the person out and you have a nice body. And I believe there's like a longer one with a fin in the back. They aren't making those currently, but I have a few in my collection. I think Tim has one too. I think I gave one to Tim. You see those floating around every once in a while. So it's quite a couple of different castings for this. Obviously, it comes in a variety of different colors. I think Tim's trying to collect one of every color. That's his life goal, is to have one of every color. But to cut this one off, what we're going to do is we're going to start by just cutting it like this and getting these cuts in. And then I'll probably come in from the top and then just go straight down. But I really dig this detail back here. You got like a battery and you got the fuel lines back here. It's a great detail for this car. So luckily this one's really flat. So we'll just go real slow. We'll get our groove started. And we'll just take our time because I want to salvage this bed to put on the mod rod. You know, the mod rod, when I first saw it, I went nuts for it. I was like, oh man, that's cool. I bought a bunch of them. But I just never found that motivation for what I wanted to do with them. It's a neat looking car. It's got a lot of potential, but I just, you got to have inspiration. And then I see 20 other shiny cars, and I go and buy those, and I start another project. But when I took on this challenge for this particular build, and I started looking at cutting the back of this bone shaker off, I was like, You know, I could make that mod rod into a truck, and I thought it would look cool. So that's going to be the goal. Yes, it is. One of each. Tim, I admire your goal, buddy. All right, so I'm getting a little close up here. So I need to angle that just a slight bit. Again, holding them is everything. Yeah, Jonathan, I think I'm just going to go out and get another one of those vices for my desk. I think that's just going to be something I'm going to have to do. Of course, while I'm at Harbor Freight, I'll look at other things too. All right, my blade got caught. Best idea you've had on. Thanks, Jonathan. I come up with good ideas every once in a while. Thanks to your input. Yeah, we're just about through. We're through at the bottom. We're just about through at the top. So I think, yeah. I think I'm just going to switch it up and go like this. Well, of course, I'm already there. I'll look at everything. All right, so I got through that half. So now we're going to start working on the other side. Nice and slow. And we'll get through it, and then we'll just start going from there. Tonight's lesson is all about chopping cars up. Welcome to Jackal Garage Chop Shop. Looks like I'm already through. All right. So now, and patience. Oh, and a vice. Lots of patience. Jonathan, you should have tons of patience with your children and everything. And then you got your other children at home. Oh, this truck bed's coming out perfect. Now I'm getting excited. Woo! Going like a madman. It's just a slow go. Voila. It's off. It's good. I just need a little cleanup. So we'll mess around with this for the mod rod. But we got the front end off. This episode brought to you by the chopper. When you want to destroy Hot Wheels, use the chopper. I'll just rechain. I'll just stencil in chopper right across here. Whew. All this metal dust is on my floor now, which means that next morning when I'm out here walking around, I'll step in it. All right, so we obviously can't use that interior. And obviously the body's gonna have to be changed as well. So, the chopper. So obviously we gotta do some modifications to everything. But that's kind of what we're gonna be looking at right there, you guys. That's gonna be the, gotta be a work stencil. I could probably make that work. I got work stenciling around here someplace. So that's what we're looking at for the car. You know, like this is just going to be an awesome conversion. It's going to keep it kind of in the same length as the other cars. You know, once the front bone piece goes on, it'll be a little bit longer. But it's going to be a little long. But the other thing I was toying around with was putting... Bam. Uh-oh. Get through the chopper. I was actually thinking about cutting this front end off and putting the front end on this car. Just because I can. Just to really take it to that next level. So basically it would just be this cab portion here that I would be keeping. But we will probably explore that later on. I don't think you guys need to see me sawing that up. You've seen me sawing up enough tonight. So from here, we just need to, you know, file this stuff down. You know, I got a little into the body right there a little bit. But by the time I'm done with this, no one's going to see those things. I think that would look cool. Yeah, I kind of think that front end would look kind of neat on this car. It's a lot of work just to change out the cab, but it's worth it though. You know, this is going to be kind of a one of a kind car for me. I haven't decided. You know, we'll see how this one turns out. I might be giving this one to Darren for the shop, just to show how extreme you can go with building cars. Part of this, why I'm building a lot of these cars for the shop, is just to give people some kind of ideas on what they can do with these Hot Wheels and the products that Darren sells at the shop. So I'm wanting to use a lot of this products that he sells. That's why on this one, you know, this person back here is from the Implements of Carnage. Man, I'm jealous. What are you jealous about, buddy? So I just kind of want to help him out with that. Missing that half digit gives so much more room. Thanks, buddy. Also makes me a better bass player. So that's one of the reasons why I do a lot of these. I'm doing these so Darren can have them on display at the shop, and people can get an idea of what they can build using the products that he actually sells. So there is an advantage to that. So just some quick filing. Again, that's why, you don't need to spend a lot on your files. You're just going to be like filing down metal. I probably should have filed that down first because that would have taken those burrs off. Oh well. The things you think about afterwards. But this way people, can go in, they can see some cars, they can see some different design features, and also it'll help, advertise the show because people go, who built those? And I'll have stickers for Jackal Garage and stuff there. So stickers. I love stickers. Voila. Fitting like a glove. It's almost like they were meant to be, because here's the lines that were getting cut into the body as I was cutting that trunk off, and they like line up perfectly. So that's going to make this so much easier. I'm going to go right up to the top just like that. You can see where I cut into it. Again, I can fix that. A little extra shot of Zappa Gap, and that will probably be gone. Some body filler. Zappa Gap, the body filler of Gaslands. So I'm just like, this is just awesome. So we know that this interior is not going to work. Or will it? Ooh, hold a second, Mr. Wilster. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. I'm on to something here. Look at that. Oh, don't you dare tell me this is going to work. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Love it when a plan comes together. Dun, dun. Oh, it's just a little bit off. What's getting in my way? So it may be the front piece, the post. But if I take the post off, will that allow? Yeah, I think it's just this post that's keeping that from working. This is gonna work. You're right, David. And that looks 10 times better. Because if I can keep that front grill, that front radiator on, this is the thing I like about the Erikenstein, is this front radiator is kind of exposed. So if I can keep that, so I'm hitting the wheels. So that is where my problem is, but that is fixable by we'll just take the wheels out. Wheels be gone. Wheel be gone. Wheels be gone. Oh. Oh, is this gonna work? Yeah, that post has to come out. All right, we're back to cutting, guys. We are back to cutting. I'm sorry. Oh, something's flying around me. Good thing I already drilled and tapped this out. It's going to make cutting this post off really simple. Voila. Look at that, all drilled and tapped. I'm like a machinist. File this flat a little bit. We won't get too carried away. Oh. We're gonna have to go slow on this, which is hard for me to do. But that post helped out dramatically. can be on to something here. All right, so the next thing hitting, again, this is all process of elimination, are these right here. So we'll just cut these off. This is what it's all, this is kind of what I do when I'm not streaming, is I start working on a car and I just get all excited for what I'm doing. That's not working. Where's my... Just got to take it down to the corner. All right. Plus, I wanted mine to match my other. Oh, cool. You're talking about your using your bone shaker, using the the other style. All right, can it work? Can it work? Can it work? Oh, get in there. I can make that work. I'm gonna have to do some other modifications to the plastic, but I think I can make this work. Oh, and actually, with it being so, you can see it's kind of raised right here, but I can just put big old exhaust pipes coming out right there. So I think we're gonna make this work, you guys. But let's see if we can lower it down just a little bit and see what it's catching on. The thing is the old cab had this cutout right there, so it cleared all that. And I don't quite have that with this. So I could just file that all out just to kind of to get it so it drops a little bit lower. The other thing is my engine compartment, I'm catching on a few things. I'm catching on the fan belt, which is not allowing the engine to raise much more. If we go in backwards, so we may have to clean up some of the engine to get it all to fit. But if I chop that fan belt off, take a little bit out of the back of this, I think I can just drop that right on. So if I can keep the original body, that'll just make this car that much better. Because then I'll have, I'll show you how this is all going to look. Oh yeah, now I'm excited. So obviously this is going to lower down probably about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to have to do some modifications, but it should be coming down to right about where the end of that pulley is. And then I'll have all that open. And what I'll do is I'll put some rods to kind of like finish that out. And then I'll have my exhaust just pouring out the side here. I might even do the crazy exhaust coming out the sides, but I think it's just going to open all of that up so nicely. Oh yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, mind racing 1,000,000 miles a minute, but what we need to do is grind out some of this in here so that it goes down lower in the back, and we need to modify up this engine slightly. So we'll do the simple thing first. We'll take off the pulley. Just cut it all the way off. Ooh, that let it drop quite a bit. Ooh, this is neat. so, and then we need to take a little bit off the back of that motor as well. So I could take material off of this, but this is such a thin line right here that I don't want to do that. I'd rather take the plastic off because I can always decorate that up a little bit. All right, let me get my other X-Acto knife. It just wants to be difficult. There it goes. Yes, yes, yes. Unfortunately, tomorrow I'm going up to Prescott. So I won't be able to work on my car. All right, so we got it to drop down quite a bit, but as you can see back here, I'm hitting the top of that fan, so I can't get it any lower. And again, that's why the original body was cut out like that. Really want to see, and mine is not going. Who's the chassis guy? Yeah, I noticed yours was going to be longer, Tim. Oh. But if I can keep it the same size as the existing Erikenstein, I think we're going to be in a lot better place. You should do a side-by-side shot of it when you finish next to kids. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that, Jonathan. But it's getting better. Can you cut out? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to end up having to do, David, is cut out the cab part. But the back half is pushing the cab forward also because I need to file it down some more to size it up better. So a couple things are going to have to happen, but I think because right now what you can see is there's this black, there's a step up right here. And I think that's what's causing the cab from not being able to go down all the way. Or it's just the fan in general. I could also just chop the fan out. I've done it before. I've taken the fans out of these things. It's not that hard to take out. Actually, let's just take the fan out. Do not do this at home, ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do for a grill? Oh, I'm glad you asked about that. I'm not going to really have a grill on the front of the car. This is an extra bit from my Squigoth build. And that is what's going on the front. I'm going to use it as a ram. So that's what we're looking at going on the front. And I think that is going to look awesome on this. Again, don't do this at home, ladies and gentlemen. I've already lost fingers, so I don't mind losing another one in retrospect of building an awesome Gaslands car. Let's chop this part up too. I think we're going to make this work. So I'm going to get this done. Actually, I'm just going to cut the whole thing in half. Let's just do it the easy way. Let's press the easy button and just chop the whole thing in half. See, now we can get it to go down all the way. So I get to keep the original interior. This make it so much easier because now I can just glue the body down. Whoops. Right to the car. So, and one of the cool things about this interior is we've noticed before, there's a rat sitting there eating a slice of pizza, which I think is just cool. But now the whole body goes all the way down. Now I can just chop this to size. And to be honest with you, I just want to keep the... ooh, do I need to keep that? Let's check something real fast. No, I do not. Pressing the easy button. Chop it. Chop it. You've been chopped. Again, I'll save the fan. That'll be good for any one of my other builds. Actually, that'll be perfect for that build. I'll just put that fan in that back window. Or in the back. I don't know. Perfect. Perfect. Parts for other cars. Score. Alright, so we got this here, and I'll get this glued in place. And we got this here. So we put the cab back on. It drops all the way down like it's supposed to. So now what we'll end up having to do is sand more of this off of the backs, because it's just off by a little bit, so that it all flushes up. So that is what this is going to be. Done. So I'm awesome. I'm just excited. I'm just super excited that the way this turned out. I wasn't expecting that. And again, I'm still not 100% sure yet, but I still like the idea of maybe taking that front piece. But now that I chopped that engine up, that would be pointless. So that will be saved for another build. I'll have to come up with something for this. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm sure I can do something with it. I'm not going to throw it away, but I think we can do a cool build with that front piece. I just like it. It's just cool. So, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But what I'll do is I'll take this outside of my belt sander and I'll zap it on my belt sander and size this all up. Plus, I will get it all glued together. Wheels be done. We'll get this all glued together like that. Let's get some glue. And that way I can just paint it all and do everything at one time. And use my famous clips. Best use of a clothespin ever. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you guys can find around your house to use for hobbying. It's actually quite amazing the stuff you can find to use for hobbying. Unfortunately, I don't think the clothespin's going to reach around this. Not in a million years. So we'll just hold it. Before and after pictures will have to be a must. Oh yeah, definitely, Jonathan. definitely will be showing. I'll post it all up on the Discord channel. If any of you guys, I don't know who's all watching, but if any of you guys are not part of our Discord channel, shoot us an email at What's New with Mike and Jeff or at Jackal Garage, and I will be more than happy to send you an invite to the Discord channel, so you can join in on some of the conversations that we're having over there and see everybody's work, and just be a supportive member of the community. All right, so this is on hold, you guys. I think we accomplished quite a bit. The next thing, I know it's late, so I'll just take a quick look at this for you guys. Usually we cut out around 8:30, but let me pull this apart real fast and we'll take a quick look at this, because I really want to do something with this mod rod and come up with a cool conversion for it. Because, again, it's a neat car. I just haven't found that inspiration for it yet. Window doesn't want to come out. Stubborn window. There it goes. So the truck bed, it's the same. It's just a little bit bigger than that. But I'm thinking if we just did a good cut right there, I should be able to just slide this right in and have this truck bed on the back here. That's kind of what it would look like. Obviously the post is going to have to come off because it's not going to work there. But then I'll just have this neat little truck bed back here, and I think that will really make this mod rod just look awesome. So that's probably the inspiration I was looking for. I just don't like this. I don't like this luggage compartment thing. The other thing I could put back here would be a big tombstone, so the people aren't getting shot through the back. That always could be helpful. But I think this truck bed will look cool. So I will get this cut off during the week, so you guys can see it next week and kind of see how it's coming along. But I definitely think the truck bed back here is going to look a lot better than this storage compartment. I think that's going to work just fine. And then what I'll end up doing is taking the back half of this plastic, just the gas can part, and glue it in place so that I still have the gas can back there. Because that's the whole idea, is having that gas can back there. All right, I'm going to switch cameras. Well, that's everything for today. Kind of went over all the projects that I'll be working on in December, which is quite a bit. If you ask me, I got a lot of cool cars that I want to get built, but definitely the Erikenstein Bone Shaker blending modification. Any of you guys can join. You kind of just saw what I did. If that's something you're interested in, steal my ideas. That's flattery, and I'm okay with it. I like it when people do that. But yeah, it's just a fun little build, and it's just going to be neat when it's done. It's something about blending cars together. Just really helps. Thank you very much, Adam. I'm glad I could give you some good information, especially about soaking the cars in CLR afterwards to get some of the oxidation buildup off, and then buffing them out. I think this car is going to look cool, all glossy silver. I'm going to start my DeLorean this week. Very cool. I can't wait to see what you did. Your last car you did was awesome. Everything Joe. Okay. So I can't wait, and hopefully we'll get to play soon. I'm looking forward to getting the game back on the table. But anyways, great ideas, good stuff for you guys to glean from, and hopefully get inspired to build your own creations. That's what it's all about. Is you see ideas, you see someone working on something, and then you're like, "Ooh, I want to do that to this," and then you go about your way. Just added more pics of mine. Interior painted, yes. Have to paint interiors. Uh, anyways, but yeah, thank you all very much. We'll be back on Wednesday night for the Wolf's Den. And oh, Joe, I didn't. I just saw your comment. Hey, Mike, what I miss? Joe, you missed a lot. You missed the blending of two cars into one. You're gonna have to watch it over again though. So, but be back on Wednesday night for the Wolf's Den. I know Jeff and Jonathan are gonna start their Sanguinius builds. So all they're gonna do is build the Sanguinius model. And if you're not familiar with the model, it's pretty intense, and it's probably going to take them all month to build it. But no, they're going to build them upright. It's a very delicate model. I had a good time too, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us. But they'll start that on Wednesday night. Then that's the Wolf Den. And then we'll be back on Saturday for What's New with Mike and Jeff as we venture. I'm still working on the Squigoth for my Orc army, and I've got another project lined up for December. I was inspired by Jeff's big Forge World model that he painted up. So, and I was cleaning up some stuff in my room, and I found an old model that I've always loved, but it didn't quite turn out right. So, but I'll share that with you guys on Saturday. So, anyways, thank you all very much for joining me tonight, and kind of going through the creative process. And I know it wasn't very exciting to see me sawing all night, but that's part of that hobby. It can't always just be fun painting. Sometimes we've got to grind away at building cars. So, anyways, thank you all very much. Have a great week, and join us again on Wednesday night for the Wolf's Den. Talk to you later. Bye.